Tonight at 6, Governor DeWine announces what needs to be achieved for Ohio to roll back public health orders, what this means statewide, and how the decision came about.
And the Kent City Health Department is expanding its offices in hopes of pushing out COVID-19 vaccines. We have more details on the proposed plans.
Here on campus, USG elections for the 2021-2022 school year are now on the horizon. TV2 breaks down the process and when and how students will be able to cast their ballots.
And Main Street Kent is bringing the downtown experience to you. Stay tuned for this and more on TV2 News.
This is TV2 News.
Good Friday evening, Portage County. Thanks so much for joining us one last time this week. I'm Erin Sullivan.
And I'm Alexandria Manthe. Your time is 6:01 and we begin tonight with Governor DeWine's latest COVID announcement for the state.
That's right. Yesterday, DeWine announced that once Ohio gets down to 50 coronavirus cases per 100,000 people for 2 weeks, all public health orders will be removed.
But what exactly does that benchmark mean, and where does it come from? Reporter Helena Sepulveda looked to answer these questions and more. She joins us now. Hi, Helena.
Erin, Alex, thank you. Tuesday will mark a year since Governor DeWine announced a state of emergency for the state of Ohio. Now, a whole year later, and with the pandemic still present, DeWine announced a new benchmark which, if achieved, will remove the dozens of public health orders that were put in place last March.
Yesterday, Governor Mike DeWine delivered another statement regarding the COVID-19 pandemic, but this time the news is hopeful, and he tells Ohioans that progress is being made.
To date, we have vaccinated over 1.8 million Ohioans. Now, we've got a ways to go. And yes, we need more vaccine, but more vaccine is coming. But we must continue pressing forward in these final days. We want all Ohioans to complete this vital mission together.
DeWine also told Ohioans that there is a chance that health orders could be lifted soon. He says that if the state can get down to 50 cases per 100,000 for 2 weeks, all health orders will be taken away. However, Dr. Fossey believes that no state should be running to take off their masks just yet.
You don't want to go from very stringent public health restrictions to just turning it off and say, that's it.
Governor DeWine encourages community members to push through as he believes that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
All of us are so sick of this virus. But you know, we must resist this urge, and we must fight to the very end. Now, I can't tell you exactly the day and the time when we can declare victory, but we will be able to declare.
Public health orders will remain in place until that benchmark is reached, 50 cases for every 100,000 residents. Reporting live in Franklin Hall studio, Helena Sepulveda, TV2 News.
Thanks, Helena. Governor DeWine also announced today plans for a mass vaccination clinic in Cleveland that will open on March 17th. The 8-week-long clinic will be held inside Cleveland State's Wolstein Center. The plan is to administer 6,000 COVID-19 vaccines a day. The governor's office says FEMA selected the location based on its proximity to a large number of high-risk citizens and medically underserved populations. Hours of operation have yet to be determined. However, the clinic will be open 7 days a week. Appointments will be made available in the near future throughout Ohio's statewide scheduling system.
The Kent City Health Department released plans for a new clinic downtown. The department is renting additional space in the Parda Central Gateway building, allowing for easy transportation. Plans are to use this ground floor space as a vaccine distribution center. Kent City Commissioner Joan Seidel told Council. She also noted that COVID testing could begin immediately. Eventually, the clinic could provide even more services.
Portage County vaccine distributions are expected to skyrocket thanks to the Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. Portage County Health Commissioner Joseph DiOrio said that the county will receive most likely 13,000 to 15,000 more by the end of next week. The Portage County District is now working on identifying residents with underlying conditions before the general public receives doses. Residents will be identified through vaccination signups online.
The Ohio Department Services Agency and Community Action Council wants to remind Ohioans that assistance is available to help with home energy bills. The Home Energy Assistance Program, also known as HEAP, helps Ohioans at or below 175% federal poverty guidelines. Ohioans who are threatened with disconnection from their utility service may also be eligible for this aid. To see if you are eligible, call 234-703-4303.
Happy TGIF Friday! I hope you're having a nice, warm Friday evening out there today. I'm your TV2 weather anchor, Owen Amadagori, with your currently in Kent forecast. And here we go. Currently in Kent right now, it is 32 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Feels like 50 out there. I don't know why that's it. But anyway, dew points around 32 degrees with winds east-southeast at 5 miles per hour. Visibility is at 10. It's a very nice evening out there. Here we go with our statewide temperatures. As you can see, 33 in Akron, 37 Steubenville, Lima 43, Dayton 44, Cincinnati 47. It's going to start to cool off as the sun goes down. And here is your evening weather forecast. Here we have towards 7 p.m., 30 degrees, 12 a.m., 28 degrees, and then 5 a.m., sunrise. Don't know why that looks like that, but anyway, 6:51 a.m. I will have more on that. That's all I have for now, folks. Please stay tuned for my weekend surprise coming up in my full forecast. Back to you ladies at the news desk.
Thanks, Odin. Kent State is now designated as a first-generation institution by the Center for First-Generation Success. This recognition means that the university is committed to guiding first-generation college students to success throughout their college experience. Kent State will now be receiving extra resources and professional development to continue helping their first-generation students.
Kent State's undergraduate student government is holding elections for next year's council later this month. Our reporter Bailey Schweitzer has more. Hi, Bailey.
Is holding an election to select the student body's next representatives. I sat down with USG's president and director of governmental affairs to find out how USG serves Kent's undergrads.
With substantial ability to make your voice heard. So when we're talking about things like, online learning for next semester, like what does that look like? That's something that USG members are going to be a part of. We have our president right now who is on a committee talking about the vaccine.
USG President Tierra Morris says that students should focus on their local officials to see changes in their own lives.
I talk about student government kind of like you talk about local government, or, where people don't really pay attention as much. Honestly, typically, they vote for the president and they don't really see what's happening on the county or local level. But honestly, like the smaller the government, usually the bigger impact they can have. And that holds true with student government.
Though USG is so vital to improving students' lives, many students do not know what USG is.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I'm not too informed about it.
Due to the pandemic, many candidates are having a hard time campaigning. To showcase the candidates, USG is holding a virtual debate on March 15th at 7 p.m.
We think it's especially important considering we don't have the kind of in-person interaction that one might have outside of this year. So the debates will be a real opportunity for candidates to showcase what they want to do should they win.
The USG election is on March 16th and 17th, and to tune into the debate, follow at Kent State USG on Twitter and Instagram for updates. For TV2 News, I'm Bailey Schweitzer. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Bailey. There may be a couple of things that are here to stay after the pandemic comes to an end. Stay tuned for the details later.
And the governor of New York has recently created some confusion about COVID-19 in nursing homes. Find out what this means coming up.
3 months ago, there weren't enough masks. We were desperately sourcing from all over the world. People were making face coverings from scarves, bandanas, and bits of fabric. Now there are plenty of masks, but some people don't want to wear them. Come on. Mask up, America.
pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
Welcome back. With the pandemic possibly nearing to an end, we could possibly be seeing some things from the pandemic that could stick to our everyday lives. Our reporter, Kelsey Drennan, has more on this. Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, Erin. With COVID-19 vaccines making their way all across the United States, there might be an end in sight to this year-long pandemic. So let's talk about what might be staying after the coronavirus is over. Let's start with the biggest change we've had to do since this pandemic: wearing masks. It looks like the masks are here to stay for whenever you feel sick and you need to step out to the store really quick. But it seems like the biggest use of masks in the future will be for when we get into the more frigid and colder temperatures. These masks can help us shield our face from the cold, and I know that this has helped me out a lot because of how cold I get in the winter. We may also be seeing a reoccurring appearance of business on the top and casual on the bottom, which I have to admit, wearing some stretchy yoga pants will always sound like a better option to wear when I have to attend my Zoom meetings. Which leads me to what else might stay after the pandemic: virtual meetings, which may not be a fan favorite of everyone's, but it could lead to more attendance when people don't feel well enough to come into work or school. And of course, with virtual meetings, this means that more people will possibly be able to work from home now. Whether we like it or not, some of these things look like they are here to stay. Reporting from Franklin Hall, I'm Kelsey Drennan. Back to you two at the desk.
Across the country, the push to vaccinate Americans continues, but as some states roll back mask mandates and allow businesses to reopen, some health experts are warning it's still too early to ease restrictions. Biden reports.
And the people of this country have suffered far too much for too long. We need to relieve that suffering. The American Rescue Plan does just that.
That plan is in the hands of the Senate now, and the division is painfully clear. Starting at 3:20 Thursday afternoon, all 628 pages of the $1.9 trillion bill were read aloud. And yes, that means everything.
Table of contents for this act is as follows.
The reading took more than 10.5 hours until just after 2 o'clock Friday morning, a delay tactic by Republican Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin. Hours later, they're back for the vote-a-rama, when they'll vote on amendments to the bill. And Johnson said he might move to stretch out that process too. Republicans say the bill calls for too much spending and too little bipartisanship along the way.
The only thing bipartisan about their bill was the opposition to it.
At the end of the day, there was a lot of spending that really can't be accounted for.
That the $1.9 trillion plan has good objectives, but it's massively misdirected.
But Democrats say now is the time to be bold.
Put the money into the economy to make sure that we can recover quickly.
You've got to get the funding out there, and you've got to make sure our economy is strong.
And the majority leader says he expects the Senate to finish the bill this week.
Help is on the way.
I'm Britt Conway reporting.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is under fire for altering a health department report concealing how many nursing home residents actually died from COVID-19. Cuomo's aides and secretary urged officials to report residents who died inside the nursing homes, but not those who got sick and later died in the hospital. This was in response to a directive that was released on March 25th, which prohibited nursing homes from rejecting recovering COVID-19 patients being discharged from hospitals. Some state lawmakers are now urging Cuomo to resign or be impeached.
Erin, you know, the weather has been confusing me lately. How about you?
I'm not really a fan of the snow and then the sunshine, but I did have a picnic the other day, so I can't complain too much.
Yes, I feel like one day it's snowing, one day we're in 50 degrees.
All right, Odin, please tell us there's more sunshine on the way so I can finally be happy.
Well, there certainly will be on the way, Erin, as we will be talking about big warm-up this upcoming week. Let's get right onto it with your weather forecast. All right, so here you go, your Friday weather headlines. Tonight's lows will dip down into the 20s tonight, so, bundle up. It's going to be a cold one tonight. Weekends, here's the weekday surprise I was talking about, which is going to be spring-like highs in the upper 60s. That's going to feel amazing right there. Rain showers later in the week, but that'll be towards Thursday and Friday, so don't worry about that right now, but be ready for it as we get into next week. So here we are right now across our lovely state. It is currently starting to get colder as those temperatures are starting to go down. 34 in Cleveland, 32 in Kent, 35 in Canton, 30 in Ashtabula. Ooh, that's cold. Talk about cold weather right there. Here is your tomorrow's sunrise forecast. As you can see here, 6 a.m. pre-dawn skies. Towards your noon, 31 degrees, mostly sunny. And towards your 6 o'clock, sunny skies in the evening. It's going to look really nice out there. And here's your 7-day outlook. As you can see, we'll continue with this strange pattern of partly cloudy skies. But then towards Monday, we're going to start to see that uptick in temperatures to where we may even get into the whopping 60s. Ooh, that's going to feel wonderful out there. And then towards the weekend, we will be dealing with rain showers as the temperatures start to go back down into the 50s. That's all I have for you guys for this week. Please enjoy these warm spring-like March temperatures responsibly. Now I'll send it back to you ladies at the news desk.
happy. 379,000 jobs were added last month, much more than economists expected. Investors responded with a jump in the pre-market stock trading. February's unemployment rate also dropped slightly, down to a 6.2% from January's 6.3%. It was expected to remain flat. The unemployment rate reports how many people sought jobless benefits and does not reflect those who dropped out of the job market entirely. The Biden administration's $1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package is still under the revision of the Senate.
And this time, not everyone may be able to receive a check.
After deliberating, officials in the Senate adjusted federal unemployment pay by $300 a week, down from the House's $400 a week.
As Congress races to pass the bill, a set of roadblocks could slow the process. One, a long series of amendment votes used to make the other side go on the record about individual issues.
It takes 51 votes to pass in a Senate split 50-50, which means each of the more than 100 proposed amendments test partisanship. Once passed in the Senate, the bill will go back to the House, then to President Biden.
A former aide in President Trump's administration has been charged with involvement in the attack on the Capitol. Court papers show that Federico Klein physically and verbally engaged with officers who were trying to keep the mob back. Klein was arrested Thursday and faces charges including obstructing Congress and assaulting officers using a dangerous weapon. This is the first known case to be brought against the Trump appointee in the January 6th insurrection.
Can the Kent State men's basketball team finish their regular season on a high note? I'll break down the matchup against Buffalo tonight in my sports report.
And how will Main Street Kent bring the downtown experience to those who want to stay at home? The answer after the break.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So, yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
The Big Ten Conference announced 8,000 fans will be allowed into the Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the men's college basketball tournament next week. As Camila Fernandez reports, the city and its businesses are now preparing for a scaled-down March Madness.
Good news in the fight against coronavirus. More than 82 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine administered so far in the United States. That's according to the CDC.
We're now up to about 2 million vaccinations per day. That means every day that goes by, every week that goes by, you have more and more people protected.
But with more shots in arms, more states are rolling back COVID-19 safety measures.
After April the 9th, I will not keep the mask order in effect.
Alabama joining 15 states with no statewide mask mandate.
And I'll say it again, I think that's ill-advised.
Texas will do the same on March 10th, a move President Biden calls a big mistake.
Exactly when would be the right time? Would it be when everybody gets a vaccine? Will it be when COVID is completely over?
Health experts say yes, it's key to wait for more people to get vaccinated and for the number of daily new infections to fall.
We'll be there eventually, but to do this now, it's 10 steps back from 2 steps forward.
Some officials doubling down on safety measures in light of dropped mask mandates across the U.S.
Please continue to wear a mask. What some other states are doing is reckless. We've seen them do it before. They paid the price.
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Good evening, Kent State and all of Portage County. I'm Connor Mills, bringing you tonight's top headlines from the world of sports. We begin with some March action. It's in full swing tonight as the Kent State men's basketball team makes their way up to Buffalo for the final game of the Golden Flashes regular season. The first full pandemic season for the Flashes will come to a close tonight as Kent State will finish off their regular season against the Buffalo Bills at the Alumni Arena. In a down-to-the-wire game, Kent State survived a furious Bulls second-half comeback to secure a win in their previous matchup by a final score of 84-81. Buffalo, is currently winning by a score of 15-10, and you can follow the game on ESPNU. This game will have huge implications as the Flashes head into tournament play next weekend. Kent State is coming into the game with a conference record of 12-5 and currently sits in second place behind Toledo, while Buffalo comes in just behind the Golden Flashes in third place with a record of 11-5. A win for the Flashes could secure them the second seed in the MAC tournament. The Kent State women's basketball team will also finish up their regular season this weekend as they will host Akron in the Crystal Clinic Wagon Wheel Challenge. The Lady Flashes are coming into the game with a record of 9-6, and with a win tonight, it would put them in prime position to secure at least a 5th seed in the tournament. This will be Kent State's first time seeing Akron this year due to the previous matchup being canceled due to COVID. Tip-off is set for 2 p.m. While college basketball is in their mania frenzy, the NBA is in mid-season form as they will host their 73rd annual All-Star Game this Sunday in Atlanta. Unlike previous All-Star weekends, all events, including the three-point contest, skills competition, and dunk contest, will take place during and before the halftime show. Team LeBron and Team Durant drafted their teams from a pool of players last night. Coverage will start at 5 p.m. and you can watch all the festivities on TNT. And with that, that's the end of my sports report. It's been a pleasure, Portage County. When TV2 is off air, we're still online at TV2 KSU Sports on Twitter. Make sure to follow us for live coverage of the games and all of the latest in sports. I'm Connor Mills. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Connor. A popular fast food restaurant is launching a new product featuring an unusual combo. More after the break.
Missing the traditional downtown Kent experience? Well, not to worry, because you're in for a treat and we'll have all the details next.
I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
A popular fast food chain is launching a new product featuring an unusual combo, tacos and makeup. This unlikely pairing is happening thanks to Chipotle and Elf Cosmetics. The products are vegan and cruelty-free and inspired by Chipotle ingredients like rice and guacamole. The eyeshadow palette also includes a coupon for free chips and salsa from Chipotle. A new limited-time menu item will also be featured at the Mexican chain restaurant. The vegan Eyes Chips Face Bowl will be available starting March 10th.
And Main Street Kent is partnering with local businesses to create take-home experiences for those more comfortable being at home these days. Some highlights include chocolate tasting kits at Popped, take and bake burritos from Taco Tonto's, and bubble painting kits from McKay Bricker Framing. The kits will be available for pickup every Wednesday from March 10th through April 7th. Purchases can be made directly through the business.
Alex, I'm getting the makeup.
I think that is a very unusual pairing, but I really think that it's going to work. It looks great.
I'm doing it. It's my two favorite things, makeup and Chipotle. I'm absolutely in love with Chipotle.
Yes,
so.
and the coupon for the free chips and salsa, that
Yes.
sounds amazing.
So if you see me at Chipotle, you know why. With the new eye look, it's because I bought the palette.
Yes, and that salsa lipstick.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's all from us tonight. And we'll wrap up the coverage from TV2 this week. For a more in-depth look at stories from tonight's show and others, you can head to kentwired.com.
And stick with us on social at KentWired for most breaking local and national headlines. I'm Alexandria Manthe.
And I'm Erin Sullivan. Have a great weekend, Portage County. We'll see you back Monday at 6.
Even though there is so much against us, you will see me wearing a face covering.
And even with my face covered,
you will see me.
As a son.
As a friend to everyone I meet.
As a fighter for change.
As a woman who stands up for what I believe in.
So join me in wearing a face covering.
To help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Because this is one small act of kindness that has the power to bring us all together.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
Families don't have to talk about everything, but they should talk about how to plan for an emergency. Get tips and resources to make your family's emergency plan.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley?
Ah, there she is.
Paw, do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.